That's the honest hour. I hope everyone's doing great on this day, and that everyone's being positive and uplifting. My guest today is a longtime friend. If you watch the episode with Rebecca, she was actually mentioned in this episode with Rebecca, as they are great friends. This woman here is a poet. She is a performer. She is an all-around great person. She's a black queen because her fro is throwing. The one and only Tiera Nolcox. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Thank you for coming.
A little nervy, but.
A little nervy?
But.
That's okay. It's just us here in
exactly.
Controlled environment.
Yeah.
So the most important question I'm gonna ask you is right now, this whole interview. What's your mental health at today? On a scale of 1 to 10.
Now, for like the first time ever, I could say a 10.
A 10? Sure.
That honestly, yeah.
Anyone who has a 10 gets a round of applause.
I've come a long way, but I'm feeling good. I'm grateful to God. I'm thankful for my family, for my man, for my friends, for myself. I am in a place where I am truly living in a stable, just feeling grateful.
Feeling grateful. You're living with, feel like you're living within the means of yourself.
Absolutely, 100%.
Feeling like you're really just doing what you do for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good because, it's a tough world right now.
100%.
A tough world. And that's not even just talking like the political aspect of who's in office. We're talking about, be able to get it.
I mean,
just don't leave that there.
We already know.
We just don't leave that there. But just with people and society and the prices of everything.
Exactly.
And just and then, once you start having the babies, it's gonna be another hole. It's like another layer added on to that.
Yeah, we have a dog and we're like, whoa, this is a lot. So I can only imagine how it is having a little human.
Yeah.
So.
Well, at least you leave the dog home.
Exactly. Yeah. And even then, we're just like, we leave him with his parents, and we're just like, let's go get the baby.
And he's so happy to see you, right?
He goes,
all right, calm down.
Get a dog, you will 100% have an ego boost because every time you come home, he just literally jumps up and he can touch my fro. I'm not sure if he jumps so high that he pats my fro. That's his I'm excited to see you. I love you too. Oh my God,
dog
so much.
touches the fro.
He gets up and does a little.
Dog must not know you don't touch black women's hair.
I allow him. He black too.
Okay.
It's a black house.
Okay. All right. Power.
All right. You already know.
So let's dive into it. So you're originally from Newburgh?
Born and raised. I moved around a little bit, but I went to Temple Hill Academy. Ooh, what's it here? Temple Hill Academy. What happened? I'm just sorting over crazy.
You good?
Head Start right over on the corner of Grand and South.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Newburgh, born and bred.
True. And what was your experience growing up here in Newburgh?
Okay, to know Newburgh is to love Newburgh. I've grown up here. I love things about Newburgh. There are things about Newburgh I want to be better, but despite whatever happened in my childhood or while growing up, Newburgh is home. I left Newburgh and came back, and I feel like that's a blessing to be able to leave your hometown and still come back and see where it is changing. There's a lot of growth that I do believe needs to happen, but I love Newburgh. I've always loved Newburgh, even when I hated it growing up. I feel like we all go through that. You're not always gonna love your hometown. Growing up in it, exactly. You're frustrated and a lot of things have changed, but I've always loved it. It's always been wrong here.
When you say growth, what kind of growth do you think Newburgh needs?
Okay, so that is all right. So as someone who's grown up here and who's always loved, just the originality of Newburgh,
right?
But I've loved how where I was growing, I love that there are new businesses coming in. But where I'm at, because like I know some business owners, and there are some business owners who I love and who I think they really do want to see Newburgh grow. But there are also people who come to Newburgh who just, and you can look for an opportunity, but if you don't really love the town that you're in, the city that you're in, the people that are in it, if you're opening up a business and the people who are born here aren't coming and if they don't feel welcome, that's a problem.
Absolutely.
And there are a few businesses that are scattered around here that don't cater to the people who aren't from here. They are only looking for clientele from outside to come in.
And that's not good. That's not gonna help you. You really need to be at one with the community.
100%.
Because you have people within the community who are about the community. You look at everything Mayor Harvey's done at the time. Jamaica Hall. She's actually gonna be on this show very soon.
Amazing. I love that.
She's another one in the community. Janelle Santana.
No.
She's from she's in the Montgomery area.
Okay.
But she does events everywhere. Like she just had a networking event in Middletown. I was at
dope.
that. She had one in Wappingers. She's in Newburgh. So she wherever there's an opportunity for her, she's gonna be there and help grow. She really specializes in mental health and,
that's huge.
and self-care. I'll send her your information. I mean, she is a great vibe. She was on this show once when I was still doing it virtual. But she's great. She's all around great. Just a genuine human being.
Oh, I love that.
For sure.
I love that because that is what Newburgh needs. Like I love it when it's people like that are coming and doing events and becoming part of the community. Like
Exactly.
you can't come and not be part of the community or just trying to take over.
Exactly.
And what I love the most is when it's people who are from here who are, making businesses and coming out and doing things for the community. That's what I love the most. That's always gonna
be the upper echelon.
100%. 100%.
Absolutely. So growing up, what were some of your interests and your hobbies that you were into growing up?
Well, I grew up as an only child, so it was a lot of making pretend TV shows in my room, setting up my dolls and my little imaginary friends. I was lucky enough to have amazing cousins. Shout out Paris, shout out Kevon. Taj wasn't born yet, but they, we used to play this game called Make Me Laugh. We would always find joy.
Right.
Where just one person just does something silly and make the other people laugh. So my childhood felt rich because of my cousins, and I am grateful for that. So growing up, having my cousins there with me was great, and also I've always had a really active imagination. So I would, like I said, just making pretend TV shows. I watch Martin and Fresh Prince and Living Single, and then make my own sitcom by myself. So I always loved it.
That's dope.
I've always the first thing that I ever wrote was a song when I was probably 6.
Wow.
And I remember it was it was a little deep cut, a little TT. That artist Richard Marx.
Yes.
Wherever you go. I wrote a little song to that, and I was oh, I got bars. I am a talent. And I just started filling up my little composition notebook with songs, and which turned into poems.
Man, what's great about this is when you just the same ways just work the So let's talk about your writing. I just love that. So is that really what started the writing? Was the songs? Mm-hmm. So at that age did you want to be a singer? Or you probably didn't even think that far ahead, maybe. You just were just having fun.
I was just having fun, and I enjoyed writing. I wasn't the best singer. I was in chorus and everything.
Right.
And I would sing, but it was really songwriting. Just writing, that was the part. Because I was able to just be creative and just write whatever, and it was something that I created, and I felt proud of that. So, and I never in my head thought, oh, I want to be a singer. I mean, when you're a kid, of course, oh,
Right.
yeah, I want to be Brandy. Absolutely. Team Brandy. Love Monica, but definitely Team Brandy. And I just enjoyed like creating. And I knew right then and there, like, oh, I like making things. I love using my imagination. Like all of this that I have in here, because that was, you know, how I would cope, you know, with what was going on around me, is that I would kind of go into my own little world and just make things. Like, hey, I really don't like this situation that's going on right now, so I'm just gonna create something that I enjoy, that I feel safe.
Okay, that makes sense. So,
this is Mike Williams, host of Honest Hour. I want to let y'all know that today's episode is brought to you by Legendary Apparel by Kimaj the Creator. Kimaj draws inspiration from youth in his community, whether that be from high schoolers he teaches, his own children watching the shows he watched growing up. He uses the art he creates with his community and turns them into fashion statements. 845T is a great way to represent your hometown legendary fashion with the message of Good Kid, Mad City printed on the back. Represents not to judge a book by its cover. He grew up right here in Newburgh. This is his bread and butter. He's just a kid from Newburgh. I'm confident that LA by KTK is what you need. So if you need something from him, check out our sponsor.
I don't know if you've ever watched the show before. But okay, respect. So you must know I play a game on this show.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Usually everyone hates this game, but we're gonna do it.
Okay.
Honest picks. You just one or the other.
Okay.
It's gonna be R&B artist.
Okay.
I usually put them in the notes, but I just was just like, I'm just gonna go off the cuff. Whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no preference. Whichever one you prefer.
Just speak the truth.
That's it. So we'll start off with a light one because you kind of gave the answer.
I did.
Brandy or Monica?
Brandy. I love Monica. I do. I'm not about pitting two queens against each other, but
yeah,
Brandy.
But you know what, Brandy and people.
All right.
This is debatable.
I think I yelled at the screen at something that you said about Brandy. I have to remember what it was.
Go ahead. Say it again.
Go ahead.
Brandy's the only one who had two really great albums and has been able to hold her career while still sitting in her room and never say never. Because after that album, I feel like there was a shift. Now, respectfully.
I'm remembering. Okay.
Respectfully, I'm not taking away from any other of the music she's made. And I watched Moesha. I watched Moesha. You know, and I mean, and you know, when I watch her act and she's playing like a badass, she's good at that shit.
Oh, 100%. Oh, you know, totally.
But I just feel like her music divvied. Something in the formula changed from album 2 to 3. And after that, I just didn't feel like it was the same.
Okay, so when it comes to Brandy, I love what she did for us little black girls. I love what Brandy did. She was able to be commercial and pop. She had a Barbie doll. She was Cinderella. That's Cinderella. I don't know about the other movies. She's Cinderella. Like, that was produced by Whitney Houston. R.I.P. She should still be here. Brandy's vocals, like she has a strong range. The way how deep she can go,
right? Like
she has a very broad range, and a lot of people, I think, just pay attention to like her big commercial hits. But Full Moon was that was where she really showed her vocal ability. And I get what you're saying, because at first I was like, Brandy, what are you doing? But the more I listened to it, and a lot of her newer work, there's another song, I believe it's called Rather Be. It's one of her more current songs. Listen to that. Listen to her voice in that. Listen to like the lyrics in it. I pay attention to lyrics a lot. Absolutely. And just like her range is not a lot of like singers can do that. She has a very strong range. And her acting, I also, like, my man and I just watched a movie. It was a horror movie. I forgot what it was called. Something, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure, you know, look it up.
Yeah.
She's good. You're right. Like, she definitely always plays a badass. I remember, I still know what she did last summer. Like, I was always a Brandy fan. But like her range, like her control of her vocals, that's strong. That's very strong.
Maybe I haven't listened to her stuff in some years, so
you gotta go back.
I've realized as I get older and aging that sometimes the music ages.
Absolutely, 100%.
Stuff I used to like, I'm like, I like this, and now stuff that I didn't like wait a minute, that ain't that bad.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty good.
That's exactly how I felt about Brandy on, like when Full Moon first came out. I remember seeing it on, like hearing it on 106 in Park. You know, that's a throwback.
We're still bringing it back.
Yeah. I know.
Things need to be left alone.
Some things need to be left alone.
Unless you just bring AJ and Free.
Yeah, if it's not AJ and Free, I don't want it. When Bow Wow came on, I didn't want it.
No.
Take it. But Brandy, for that long.
Okay. No, it's all good. And I think that if you remember the show Star?
I know that show, but I did not watch it. Ryan Destiny's on that, right?
Yes. Queen Latifah. Let me tell you.
Okay.
It's 3 seasons. When Brandy comes in, changes that role right there. She was meant for it.
Oh.
She was bad. I mean, listen, no disrespect, but she was a bad bitch. Like no disrespect.
She was in the game too. Remember the show The Game?
Yes.
But it was in like the, you know, later years when it was really like
kind of like, oh, like you're like why?
Yeah, like stop.
Like
I watched it only because of it.
Listen, she did her thing in there too.
Come on.
You know.
Come on.
You know. So okay.
You gotta go back and listen to Full Moon. Just listen. And listen to Rather Be. That song is.
Rather Be. I'm gonna listen to them. Them for sure. Okay, so next one. Mariah Carey or Mary J. Blige?
Oh. Oh, I'm not prepared for that. Oh. Okay. I'm an Aquarius, so I can't make anything simple. I've got a good explanation.
That's all right.
Okay. I'm gonna say Mariah Carey.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna say Mariah Carey.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's really no wrong.
I know, but this is a battle within myself because I love Auntie Mary. I love Mary. I love the boots. I love Mary. I love Mary.
I just seen her in concert last week.
Oh my gosh, yes, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I saw that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it's Mariah Carey.
Okay.
Mariah Carey.
Okay.
Always be my baby. Come on.
Oh,
Emancipation of Me is a work of art.
Look, let me tell you, I just listened to that album like 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, yeah, that was the comeback album. I feel like, though, after that album, it was like, okay, you're kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's worked. Why change it?
Ash and I'm lotion. Like, come on.
You know.
That line
Only
is...
time I like Mariah Carey's Christmas time. Like, yo, go away, girl. Please. Please, just go away. Bye.
Enough.
You know? So now I'm going to throw a loop. I usually don't do it this way. Aretha Franklin or Whitney Houston?
That is really disrespectful, and I decline. I cannot believe. I almost want to walk out. How dare you? Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston?
It's messed up.
You're messy.
That's diabolical.
Okay, just because I feel like Whitney will want me to say Aretha.
Okay.
So.
They both passed away, right? Aretha? No.
They are both, they're both passed.
Oh.
But I'm hearing Whitney.
Okay.
She's saying, you better say Aretha.
Oh, and with her voice, too.
Yes.
You better say it.
So, I'm going to say Aretha. Because that's mother. It's
okay.
This is Mike Williams, host of Honest Hour. This episode is brought to you by Classic Cloth. If you're just looking for comfort, quality all year round, look no further than Classic Cloth. And guess what? As a valued listener, you will get an exclusive deal. Use our code KEEPITClassic, classic also spelled with a K, at checkout for 10% of your purchase. Support the show. Elevate your wardrobe by shopping with Classic Cloth today. Head over to classiccloths.us, snag your favorites now. Keep it classic. Thanks for supporting our sponsors. They make this podcast passable. Now back to the show.
Donnell Jones or Music Soul Child?
Donald Jones, just because you know what's up, is like, that's
Okay,
that's an anthem.
yeah. All right.
And where I want to be, have a nerve to like go to a restaurant, on a date with someone else and say, that's
gangster though.
it's Donnell.
The next one is musically only. A lot of people like to put the personal in with the music. Leave the personal out. R. Kelly or Usher.
Usher.
Now, is that all right? You said it quick, and you said it with some strength in your body. Usher, baby.
He saw A-Town down. Listen. So.
Seen him live too.
Oh, you have?
I've seen my first concert.
Really?
Usher and Trey Songz opened for him.
Oh, iconic. That's iconic.
Oh yeah, then Trey Songz had like 9 songs. I was like, damn, he was good. You forgot Usher?
Yodeling the whole time. Oh, okay. R. Kelly is responsible for a lot of my favorite songs, with just writing, and, he did a lot of Maxwell's. I didn't realize that. Like, whenever, wherever, like, was by R. Kelly and that, like, what? And like, no matter what, if you hear Step in the Name of Love at a wedding, like, I'm stepping the whole night through.
Yeah.
I'm
You're doing it.
But it's still Usher. Because Usher was, I remember, I was in the 4th grade. My cousins and I, Kevin, Paris, we had a joint birthday party. Like, my aunt threw us a joint birthday party at Upskate.
Ooh! Upskate! Shout out to Upskate.
Yes. Taxis wouldn't go out there. That's a race issue, but we'll get into that. And I remember I got Usher's My Way as one of my classmates came, and their gift was Usher's album, My Way.
My Way.
And I played that to death. So it's Usher. It's always going to be Usher.
Such an underrated album.
It really is.
I mean, he'll never, ever, ever, ever top Confessions. I don't care what he tries to do. There, just like, in my opinion, R. Kelly never topped 12. Chris Brown will never top Exclusive. Like,
wait, which one was Exclusive?
That was his second album.
Okay.
It had With You on It.
Yeah, that was huge. Forever, right? Forever was on that.
Because he re-released it with Forever.
Oh,
it had Superhuman on it.
That was huge. But remember, there's that one album he came out with, and I don't remember what it's called, but I know it had like 50,000 tracks on it.
Oh, there's a few of them. There's Jesus.
There's
the last one was
Runaway.
11. Oh,
I love Runaway.
I'm just gonna look.
And Covered in You. That has a lot of he put in work on that album, and that is also another problematic.
Let's see. We got Chris Brown. You got Breezy. Breezy had a lot of songs on it.
Yeah. What was
Breezy had 35 songs. 11/11. Full Heartbreak on a Full Moon, maybe.
Yes, that
one had.
That had a lot of good.
45 songs, and then he re-released it and it had 57 songs.
My gosh, it wasn't enough.
Then you had Indigo. That had 42.
Indigo. Oh, I loved Indigo.
So yeah, he had his music. He definitely he knows how to make it.
Yeah, 100%.
So it actually goes into my next one: Chris Brown or Nia?
Chris Brown.
I agree.
It's Chris Brown.
Musically, Chris Brown. That pen is Neo.
Neo's pen is nasty. He's nasty too.
He was at the concert too. He opened for, it was Mario, then it was him. And
Mario. Wait a second. I didn't like that him movie you did with Mario.
What?
You went like this with Mario.
Oh, no.
Mario, okay.
Mario had, no, I was gonna say he had 7 songs.
Oh, okay.
He did like 7 songs, but then, and he did his thing. You know?
I love Mario.
He did his thing, but Neo came out, I was like, bro. Like, I knew Neo was good, but then, like, to see him perform, I was like, I was like, yo.
Okay, I respect that.
I was like, yo, he did his thing. Then when the Queen came out, go Mary, you know.
You asked me Mario over Neo. I'm choosing Mario. I went to the first
I never
screen
wanted
tour.
to walk off the set, guys.
Well, listen, I get it. I understand what you're saying, but I went to the first screen tour. Not this recent screen tour, which I hope y'all have fun. That's cute. But the first screen tour. Wait, not Scream. Excuse me, not Scream. The Millennium.
Millennium Tour.
Yeah. And it had B2K, Yin Yang Twins, Mario, Lloyd. Lloyd. Street Love is a work of art and still gets played a lot in my household. But Mario came out, and a lot of people, they chose to do that, have their bathroom breaks or whatever, get their drink. But Mario, his vocals and the album, I think that's the album.
Yeah, that came out like 05.
Crying Out For Me, Kryptonite.
Yeah, I think Breakup was on that album.
I think, Music for Love.
Now, Mario makes good music.
Oh, for sure.
Very, very,
and
very,
performing,
very.
He's also a really great performer.
Oh yeah, he did his thing. But they didn't give him enough time.
Yeah, probably.
Everyone was like,
he got
like 12 minutes. I'm like, Neo's the bigger artist. He's gonna get He's gonna get the bit more time.
He has tracks with Pitbull.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder?
Stevie Wonder.
Battle of the Blinds. I had one guest call it that. I forget who did it, but they definitely it's trademarked the Battle of the Blinds. They're like, you ain't right.
But it's Stevie.
Like, I ain't wrong though.
Stevie's getting played at, the wedding, birthdays,
weddings,
everywhere. It's Stevie.
Absolutely. Michael Jackson or Prince?
This is difficult for me because Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson. But Prince, I'm gonna say Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Human Nature is in my top 3 favorite songs
of all time.
Of all time. Human Nature.
Such a beautiful song.
I cry no matter what.
Like Michael Jackson is like when you talk about human beings that changed your life.
Yeah.
For me, Michael Jackson was the first artist I seen as a kid.
Yep.
And it just something drew me to him. And even now, every year when they do that top thing with your playlist, Michael Jackson's in it. I listen to him regularly. I've had full-blown arguments with people who say there are people better than Michael Jackson.
Who?
Now, if you want to say Prince, I'm okay. That's an acceptable answer because he used to play. He played instruments. God bless both of them.
Yeah, valid argument.
And Prince was the only one that could wear high heels and leave with your woman.
With his cheeks out.
Yes.
With his cheeks out.
Yes. And what many people don't know is Prince was so smart about the music business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever heard this story. Nas was on Drink Champs and they asked him, has anyone ever told you no to a song? And he was like, start thinking. And he's like, yeah, actually Prince. And then Nori was like, you asked Prince for a song? He was, yeah, and he told me no. He said, because you don't own the rights to your music. I don't want someone else making money off of what we create.
Oh, yeah, I remember he wasn't going by his name, it was just an artist.
Yes, foreign artist. He's the only one who couldn't use his name and then found a way to use his name.
Why? Prince Wood.
You know,
That's the only valid argument, but it's definitely Michael.
oh, absolutely.
Like, I remember watching Thriller, like, mad young, and...
This is Mike Williams, host of Honest Hour. Today's episode is brought to you by 10 Toes, which was established in 2011 by Mr. 10 Toes himself, Darren March. You face in this lifetime, 10 Toes is a brand of resilience. It's a brand of dedication, sacrifice, and courage. It's a principle, commitment, and most importantly, it's a lifestyle. Wear this brand, your journey is a mission, and communities that are founded with integrity, perseverance, and authenticity. 10 Toes offers a variety of top quality clothing items for all seasons and reasons. The latest, hottest tees, hoodies, hats, coats, and more. Be sure to check them out, shop, and support a Black-owned business with a cause. Be sure to use our partner code COCN to get 10% off orders of $75 or more, and always remember to stay 10 Toes. Thanks for supporting our sponsors. Back to the show.
This is when I was like visiting family in Wilson, North Carolina. Like my other cousins were like, "This is scary," and I'm like, "This is great."
Oh, yeah.
And which started my love for horror. I was like, "Oh, that makes sense."
So we spoke off camera also about certain maybe traumas that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Your writing, was that a reflection? Did it become a reflection of things that happened to you during your childhood, or things that happened as you grew older?
Absolutely. Oh gosh, yeah. So I grew up with my father in prison. My mom had certain, like mental health issues, so I didn't have like the most, bright and happy childhood.
Okay.
And like I said earlier, like writing was my escape. Like I was always like a daydreamer, that's where I went to go to protect myself, to be okay.
Absolutely.
To create like a little life in my head. And that's when I fell in love with movies, it was an escape, to escape
Right.
reality. If I wasn't at like my cousin's, at my auntie's house, then I was like in my room creating something just to escape what was like going on around me.
Absolutely.
And, my mom did her best, she's still a human, she's still her own self before a mom.
Right.
So she dealt with it, she had a child by herself at a very young age, and her husband was away in prison.
Incarcerated.
Exactly. So she did the best that she could do with what she had, and I know that she did her best, but of course it's still gonna affect,
Of course.
her child.
Of course. If you don't mind my asking, and I hope I'm not getting too personal here.
Mm-hmm.
At what age was he incarcerated, and what for?
My mother gave birth to me alone. Well, not alone. She had her sisters, of course.
Right.
But he went in when my mother was pregnant with me.
Wow.
And he didn't get out until I was in my 20s. So you can put two and two together.
Wow.
So I was leaving it at that.
Okay.
They used to try to lie to me, I'm like, guys, I'm smart.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take someone smart to figure out, what was going on.
Yeah. What
really happened. I was like, hey guys, I'm not stupid. Especially in like black families. It's like, oh, he in school, he at camp.
Nah.
And he's in jail. I'm not dumb. I watch Menace to Society.
I know where it's going.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot. Show me that respect.
Yeah, just give me some respect for my knowledge.
Yeah.
I have.
Stay in a child's place. Guys, I'm doing things that children shouldn't have to deal with.
Right.
So just be real with me.
Just keep it real.
Yeah.
So would you say that growing up that you spent a lot of time, more time with your aunt and your cousins than your mom?
At a certain point, I did live with them.
Yeah.
And it was more so. Look, I would give my aunt and my mom both credit that like when I would go over there, it wasn't like, oh, something's happening, so you have to go.
Right.
Like I get to hang out with my cousins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm chilling.
Like I would, like we were living in a different town, but I would get dropped off at my cousin's early in the morning, and I would, help me get ready for school. Because my mom had to work. Like, no matter what, my mom still did what she had to do to her best ability, whatever. But I spent a lot of time with my aunt and my cousins. And I love that. That, I feel like, gave me a very rich, childhood.
Absolutely.
So, I know I keep shouting them out, but they're heavy in my heart, so.
And how's your relationship with your mom now?
Okay. That's when boundaries have to come into play. I love my mom.
Absolutely.
I get my sense of humor from my mother. My mother has a beautiful laughter. I love my mom, no matter what. But I wish that we had a better relationship. Of course, I look at people with their moms, and that is the only time where I can say that I get jealous, is when I see how other people have relationships with their parents.
Absolutely.
I know I went through whatever I went through, and that's who I am today. Things happen for a reason. God got me through it. And I want a better relationship with my mother, but it takes two. I'm a full-grown woman now.
Absolutely.
There are things that, I remember there are things that, I have to hold strong boundaries with. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And,
And I break that generational trauma, it stops with me.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are shocked that I don't have kids yet. And it's because, one, I wanted to break that generational trauma. I wasn't going to pass. I know, my mom is a product of what she's gone through. And so my so.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure that I did the work with myself. And, also, if I had children with any of my exes, I would probably shoot myself.
Absolutely.
Truly. But now I'm in a relationship that, oh wow, I do actually want kids.
Absolutely.
Because I would love to see him be the father to my children.
It's a beautiful thing.
I feel like I'm able to be a great mother now.
Right.
When I become one, because I made sure, no babies in me,
No.
And I obviously waited for the right person.
And I want to say this, and this is more or less a compliment to your character. We've always been friends, always been cool.
We're at Target together too.
Yes. Always. Yeah. Wow. Forgot
When
about
it
that.
first opened.
Yes.
Blue Target now though. Trash.
Walmart too.
Walmart. Trash. Garbage.
Throw you out. Or there's one guy I watch he's hilarious. His name's Will Miller. He does these top fives. He'll be like the top 5 trash moms or the top 5 things about New York City. I'll send it to you. He's hilarious.
Please.
But one thing he always says is pack him up. Pack him up.
Yeah.
Pack her up.
Yeah.
Pack up Target. Pack up Walmart. There's other lines. Give me a break.
Bye.
Give me a break. And be like, he's hysterical. But a compliment to you is that I would never have thought, and you don't know anyone's story.
Yeah.
You really don't. You don't know anyone's story. And I would have never thought any of that. So thank you for sharing all that.
Oh.
But on top of that, in terms of having kids, you always seem like the person to me, and I'm not saying anything about anyone, but you weren't one of those people who was always around a lot of dudes.
No.
Wasn't always, sleeping around or anything like that. And that's not a knock on anyone who chooses to live that lifestyle, or I'm not talking about anyone, but you just were always the type of person who was meticulous about who you were around, and making sure everything was right for you before you did anything for anyone else. So it's an empowerment to you to be able to deal with all that growing up and wait for that right person. Because I met him right before the show came on. He seems like a great guy.
Mhm.
He knew the producer. So he seems like a great guy. And it's beautiful because I look at your pictures, as I was getting ready for this interview.
Uh-huh.
You guys have a happy, healthy relationship. It looks like you guys are in a lot of nature stuff,
Yeah.
which we'll get into a little bit later.
I love being outside.
A lot of nature, a lot of beautiful photos. So, I just think that you're on a great path. And people will be surprised that you don't have kids. And that's fine because you're living your best life now.
Thank
You want to make sure that by the time that baby comes, whenever that is, whenever it's like, I'm pregnant, that you've done everything that you wanted to do or most of, so that you can start the new phase and start new memories as a family.
Absolutely.
And,
Wow.
and the dog.
Lusty. Thanks for saying all that. I really appreciate that. That means a lot.
You're welcome.
I have always been very careful about who I have around me. But at the same time, I'm only human.
Absolutely.
So I have always had a pretty good gift of discernment, even as a kid. I didn't always listen to that voice inside of me that was just like, red flag, danger. And I would stay in friendships a lot longer than I should have. I would stay in relationships a lot longer than I should have. But I was also that person who was like, y'all not about to know my business.
Uh-huh.
So whatever I was going through, I never except for the people I was close with and who I felt safe with.
Absolutely.
And who I didn't feel it was gonna judge me or just whatever. I have always, also been someone who just stayed more to myself because I knew that there was a lot of work within myself that I didn't just want to project onto anyone.
Absolutely.
So I've always kept my circle small, and when it came to certain friendships or relationships, I sometimes wasn't in the best ones, but everything I learned from everything. And
Absolutely.
even with people who I don't speak to now, I still have great memories and bond memories with, and I try to focus on that because we're all human, we're all doing our best.
Exactly.
And as for my man, I've always just made sure we've always stayed in each other's orbit for a really long time.
Absolutely.
And I know that was God just saying, stay around each other. Y'all not ready for each other yet.
But
Not just yet, but in due time. Everything that I've gone through, I'm grateful to God that I have been able to get through that. And I know it is because of him that I was able to get through all of that. So
God bless.
yeah.
You still friends with Kevin?
Kevy, I love Kevy. As we get older, we don't speak to people as much as we should,
Right.
as much as I want to. Life happens.
You guys
but
are always hanging out.
I love Kevy. I still hit Kevin up. We all hey boo, hey. We always share our love of wrestling. He took me to my first wrestling show back in Albany. It was
So it's WrestleMania season.
yes.
People.
Okay.
So weekend of 4/20. If you love wrestling, you love God, and you love weed, it's Christmas for you.
Okay.
And
All three.
and then playoffs that weekend, so don't bother me.
Phone off. Do not disturb.
Oh yeah, you know how it goes. So you also talked about being misunderstood.
Yeah.
What do you think that the trauma you went made you feel misunderstood? Or what was it if it weren't that, if it were something else? Why did you feel misunderstood? What made you feel that way?
I think it was more so because I'm that person that does march to the beat of their own drum. Mm-hmm. And I have been someone who's been very protective of myself. And I think maybe that could come off in a way of like stuck up. Like that's something I used to get accused of. I'm like, are you kidding me? I live in the project. How am I stuck up? I had toast for dinner. What are you talking about? I can't be stuck up. But I don't know if it was just because it came off as being like standoffish.
Right.
You know, sometimes I can come off maybe a little aloof to things. And I think maybe that's just like a protection thing for me that I've always had as a kid.
Absolutely.
Like I've always just been, oh, yeah, sure. Like I wouldn't ever really like display my true feelings to try to like be cool. Not be cool, but just, hey, like I'm gonna protect myself, you know, just
Absolutely.
because like I've always been like, you know, lied to, you know, like as a kid, I would look like, yo, you're lying to me. Like, all right, I don't trust you. You know, like earlier you said, like I never was around like dudes. And no, because I never there was never a man that I could trust. Like I've never been able to trust any man.
And
really any man.
But that stems also, I mean, I meant to say this earlier, I don't mean to cut you off.
No worries.
But it just kind of still ties in. Is
Yeah.
that goes from not having your father.
Exactly.
You know, so you didn't get to see what any form of any man, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like, you know, like, and, you know, even if you don't have a good father, it's still showing you that what you might not want to be, or what you might not want to have.
Exactly.
So, that's
exactly.
Just want to just kind of bring it full circle there.
And like I did have my uncle, but you know, he had his life and you know, like he wasn't around as much. I was lucky enough where, you know, I did have a stepdad, but you know, they were still young, you know, and I would still notice things and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go in my room. You know, like, I'm gonna go watch Lion King for the 8th time.
Just gonna keep it.
Listen to SWV and, you know, cry myself to sleep or something. You know, like I was always very like self-aware and very observant and just watch things around me. So yeah, I think did I get off topic?
No.
I usually do that.
No, you're good.
Okay. But anyway, of feeling misunderstood,
Yeah.
I think it was really because I had this protection about myself where I wasn't going to allow anyone to come close enough to hurt me, basically. So I was always very protective of myself and not very like, hey, da da da, like very like I call myself like an introvert extrovert. Like most people would think that I'm very like quiet and shy. I was like, yeah, you don't know me. You have not earned that access to me.
Right.
You know, so.
Yeah, I think you were always like real quiet.
Yeah.
And that just was I wouldn't think it was stuck up, but it could come off that way.
Yeah.
You're like, what? She too much to talk to someone?
It's like, no, I'm just screaming in my head right now, and I don't know what to say.
Like, what do you want me to say? You know,
exactly. Like, talk to me.
Like, you know, I'm trying to have a conversation. You know, a lot of people always want to talk to people when they want something, right?
Yeah.
And that's when they know how to talk to people and kind of get their attention. You know, and that's what sucks about when you're a genuine human being.
Exactly.
And you know, you don't have ulterior motives. It's just like, nah, I agree.
Yeah.
You know, just like, what's going on? You know, when a man, I can't say so much now, but back then, a man talked to a woman, he was trying
to like, get up on my face. I'm not stupid.
Like, I know what you want. Go to keep moving.
Exactly.
You ain't gonna get it.
Exactly. Keep it moving. Go that way.
I ain't, because I can see, and this is real deep, and I hope, and you know, this is the honest hour,
exactly.
So I gotta say it. So, you seem big on energy.
Huge.
And what people don't understand is that sex is an energy change.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are obviously in the motions of pleasure and thoughts of that nature, but when it's a soul connection, whether you have a connection to that person or not, and your energy and their energy intertwine. And if your energy isn't good with their energy, and then it could mess up your soul.
Yeah.
People don't understand that the nature and which that those sexual desires can really affect you. And then if God forbid, if you decide, and it's nothing against people who decide to do that or, have one night stands or whatever, but then let's just say you get pregnant from one of those. Now your energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your energy, that energy that they exchanged lives in you.
Yeah, and yikes.
And people don't think about that. And I'm not going to hold you. I just read something like 3 months ago that really had me starting to think about that, and then really start like, damn, that shit's real.
It really is.
That shit is real. Like, you just don't think about it, but then when I'm reading it, I'm like, that's really some real shit.
Yeah, that's huge.
So for you, as a person big on energy, that is something that that also I would say if you could, you'd be like, man,
Yeah.
Like he says, Wilma, pack you up.
Pack you the F up, get out of here. I am very, very sensitive to energy. And everyone has every right to do what you want to do. I hope you feel empowered. Go off. I am not God. I will never and cannot judge you. But for me, I am so particular just about people around me, because I'm sensitive to energy. And
Absolutely.
I can feel, no, I can't. I feel something dark. I feel something, just to get like deep, and especially when it comes to like sex. No, that's why I've never been that,
Right.
type, I'm not trying to make it seem like any, way, I'm not knocking anyone for doing what they want to do. Like I said, be empowered, you're in control, do what you want to do. But I feel like that has allowing, I'm trying to be so careful with my words,
Okay.
but like allowing certain energy, because I've been, in my past where like I have encountered someone, oh no, this is deep and dark, and
Absolutely.
I was probably in the worst place ever, just because you take on someone's energy and they are not right, that attaches,
Absolutely.
and I want nothing to do with that, because I've experienced that before, and my God, that was like one of the worst relationships I've ever been in my entire life. Like that probably, like, if you was to see me at that point, like I was emaciated, like I didn't even look like myself.
Wow.
And yeah, yikes. Just be very, like, just be aware of like who you're letting in, because your body is a temple, who you are, your spirit, it's your spirit. Your spirit is at risk of getting attached to something.
Absolutely. And it brings me to this point. We're gonna skip ahead a little bit here.
Okay, cool.
Just because of the flow. You say you're very protective of your life now.
Yes.
And in what ways do you feel that you're protective of your life? And what caused you to want to have this kind of protection?
Just because of things that I've gone through before, old relationships, past friendships, work relationships, just period. And when I was just maybe like around something that wasn't healthy, I saw how it affected me. And I noticed that I wasn't a good person to myself. Because what's crazy, like I said earlier, I have a pretty decent gift of discernment, and I would know, hey, this is not a good situation, but whatever. I would gaslight myself and just say, oh, maybe I'm doing too much. And I would be in a relationship for years that I was like screaming for help to get out of, but I just didn't for whatever reason. And that was because I wasn't practicing boundaries. And I always thought, I didn't trust myself. That's the big thing. Is I didn't trust myself because I felt like I allowed certain things to happen to me. And that's my fault. Like, I held a lot of blame for things that happened because I felt like I should have been in control, I should have been smarter. And I used to beat myself up a lot about that because I would stay in relationships or friendships or situations for a lot longer than I should have because for whatever reason.
Right.
So now, and you know, I don't allow that. You know, like I have healthy friendships. I have healthy relationship with some members of my family. I have a healthy relationship, period, with my man and my dog, and we're happy. And
Absolutely.
it took me so long to get to this point that I would be damned if I allowed anything to affect that or come between that.
Absolutely.
And like I said earlier, like when I can tell someone's not being genuine and you're only hitting me up for help because you need something, pack it up. Pack it up.
Pack her up.
Get out of here.
Like,
and I don't care if that hurts anyone's feelings now. I used to always care about people's feelings. I wanted to be liked. I wanted everyone to think that I was a nice person. And it's like, no, I'm not nice. I'm a kind person.
Yes.
I'm a genuine person.
Yes.
I don't need to be nice to someone who I don't feel safe around.
No.
I don't need to be disrespectful. I know how to, but like,
it's never disrespectful. I've learned so much in the last 5 years.
mm-hmm.
As you know, God rest Najee's soul. But that loss really
that was rough. And
really affected.
yeah.
No, you can try to make that. What were you saying?
Najee is the person. I'm gonna try not to get all like, but like Najee is the person. I was in an unsafe, not healthy relationship, and I was like trying to get out of it.
Right.
And my friend and I were walking down Liberty Street, and we just heard yo, and we turn around, we're like Najee, and we just all were like and then he came and hung out with us, and we were having a conversation with him because he met my partner at that time.
Right.
And he was just like, he just looked at me and he didn't have to say anything.
He knew.
And he knew. And this is, I haven't seen Najee in years at this point. Years.
But he knew.
Years. We stayed in contact, you know, through social media, of course.
Absolutely.
But he knew. He was just like, like, I know. And when he passed, like, just the way that I ended that previous relationship was like, boom, boom, boom. I got out of there. I got my apartment. I got the F out of there.
Absolutely.
Because Najee looked at me and was just like, you're not good. And he hadn't seen me in years. He said, you're not good, you're not laughing. I see how you are around this person. And he only met this dude for like moments. And I know now, that's why I feel like he was like, nah, you gotta go.
Yeah.
So after like when he passed, and then a week later, because I think this was like, it was early in 2020.
Yeah, it was right before they shut everything down.
Right before. And I got up out of there.
You packed him up.
And I knew Najee was just like, and I know Najee's looking down now, and he's like, yeah.
You did that.
He orchestrated it for me to finally, he was like, listen, let's get this going, okay, girl?
Let's get this going.
I already shout out to Najee.
Absolutely. I learned so much since his death.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gained a lot in that loss. And just the energy that he had was infectious.
Very.
You know, and it's just like when you get to a point in your life where you know you need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
He was the embodiment of that.
100%.
You know, it's just like he had this one like freestyle, and it always sits in my mind. He's wearing like a dress shirt, but he's got the tie around his head. And then he wrote. There's a part where it says, "I wrote my name at the top of the calendar. I told y'all niggas that this is my year," and that's the energy I'm on for this year.
Period. Same, brother.
I think everyone's got that. There's something different about this year.
Yep.
Something different. I can't wait. I just found out some information recently. I can't announce it yet, but I got something I'm going to announce probably not till summertime.
Okay, yes,
But But something big has come from this podcast that I'm going to be able to announce. So it's going to be huge. It's a big step to where I want to go.
Amazing.
And it's just like, but we have to keep that energy. We have to keep striving to be great. And I think that you're on your way. Still, you're still climbing. You're still doing those things. And I just want to, I have this question here because of something you just said. I don't want to lose it. Lose where we are. You said people took your kindness, innocence for weakness.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You always said that before you wanted people to like you in a sense, maybe.
Yeah.
So was that kind of looking for validation?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just thought, let me just show them my best self of what I think they think is my best self. What people want from me. And I used to be a lot more vocal on social media. Like I used to share a whole lot. And it was performative. It was because, hey, people enjoy this. So I want people to like me and I want people to know whatever.
Right.
Even if it's I'm stretching myself and I don't feel good, but I'm making other people feel good. So let me just pour from this empty cup, which isn't even possible.
Absolutely.
And I would overextend myself. Someone said they needed something. Okay, sure. And that's not oh, poor me, no. It's that was my fault because I allowed that. I didn't hold myself accountable and realize the patterns that I was creating in my own life. And I just had to put an abrupt stop to that. And I know maybe it came actually I don't really give a fuck. I know it probably came off and a way of being maybe bitchy or setting certain boundaries. No, I don't want to do that. Oh well. And being okay with not being liked. Everyone is not gonna like you.
Exactly.
I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine because I'm not supposed to be. I don't want to be palatable. I don't need to do that. I don't need everyone to like me. I don't like everybody. So why do I expect everyone to like me?
Exactly.
Why is this person who I don't really care about, or who really gives a fuck about me, why am I seeking validation from them? Because I want people to say, Tiera's a nice person. No, I don't want anyone to say that. I want people to know me for me. And not even everyone. I don't need everyone to know me. People can have an idea about me. People can have a perception about me, and that's perfectly fine. That's none of my business.
And that's what I tell people is what your thoughts of me it's not my business.
It doesn't have anything to do with
that's on you.
And I think that just came with age, getting my relationship with God stronger, doing that shadow work and realizing that I'm the problem in some situations and realizing, my responsibility of holding myself accountable and not taking everything personal.
And that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you brought up God. Actually, hold on, before I ask you that. Setting these boundaries, how have they helped you have a clear mindset for your life?
Oh gosh, it's helped me in a way where my shoulders are down. I could breathe. I feel good. I don't feel sick to my stomach.
Right.
My hair is not falling out. My skin is good. I'm content. I'm happy. There's of course things that I'm still working at.
Of course.
But I feel strong. I feel capable. I'm in charge.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm in control and I have control. And a certain conversation isn't gonna bother me. Someone saying something, you're funny. That's something that you really need to grow from.
Absolutely.
And going about my day and not thinking about it, not becoming obsessed with one thing and feeling I have to, this person said this, so I have to say, I don't give a fuck.
It's just gonna be what's
That's that smart comment. Oh, you're an idiot. You're so dumb.
That's how you feel.
Okay.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm gonna get my coffee.
Because at the end of the day, those people don't pay your bills.
Exactly.
They don't live in your house.
Exactly.
They're not, so if it's anything outside of what's in front of you,
That doesn't have a damn thing to do with me.
that's cool. You can feel that way.
And I heard someone, like, I had a conversation with someone, they were like, oh, you know what you need to do? Oh, you know what I need to do?
Yeah.
And I just looked and I smirked, and I can't really control my face, I realized now. And I just had a little smirk, and they knew, go on.
Yeah.
Because I have the ability to hurt your feelings.
Just don't test me.
Just
because I look nice on the outside.
Exactly. Because I got these little doe eyes. It's not me. That I won't hurt your feelings. Yeah. But I don't want to do that.
Right. You don't want to go there. But sometimes people bring you there.
Oh, for sure.
You gotta let them know.
Absolutely. But
but you try to.
It's cool.
Just be like, gangsta down.
Yeah. Just
don't make me crack you up.
You don't want to see that. I'm from the ends. You don't want that.
Exactly. How did these boundaries also help you connect with God?
Good question.
Thank you.
It just allowed me to be disciplined, and it makes it helps me realize what I have to do. It makes me do the work.
Absolutely.
No, you can't just sit here and just like allow something. No. Use your voice, speak up, and search within yourself. Even if I want to say like a snide comment because of my relationship with God, like I know that He's got me.
Absolutely.
So whatever someone else says or whatever another person's actions is, it doesn't touch me the way that it used to. And I know it's because of my relationship with God. I'll pray on a situation, I'll look for a scripture, and just apply it to my own life. But that's making me do the work. Because I have to get my Bible. I have to have that conversation with God. And that makes me responsible. Because it's I'm not going to allow someone else to dictate that. If I feel like someone's gossiping in a way that I don't need to be part of, I can remove myself.
Absolutely. It's kind of like you only choose danger if you go towards it sometimes.
Absolutely. And I chose danger a lot. And I thought that I wasn't. I always kind of thought that I was a quote unquote good girl.
Right.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Oh wait, but you're doing this though.
Yeah.
That's very damaging.
Right. It may not be like those two, but it's
It's still pushing you over here in this direction, and you want to go this way.
Exactly.
Far away from that.
Exactly. And I think these days people have, including myself, have a temperamental relationship with God.
Absolutely.
Just bringing it back to Najee, I still don't understand why 5 years later.
At all.
And they say God don't make mistakes, but homie.
Absolutely.
You messed up.
Absolutely.
You messed up.
Big time. How many people it crushed, it hurt to this day.
Yeah.
And I also had a really touchy relationship because I thought, but why are you allowing for this to happen to me?
Right.
Why am I going through this? Why did this happen? For what?
Right. What are you trying to teach me?
And why does it gotta be me? why I gotta go through this?
Why? What did you do? What did I do?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was going through that over and over and over and over and over again. Until one day, I just felt, oh, hold on. I'm responsible for this stuff.
Right.
Or not, I'm in control of certain things.
Absolutely.
And instead of just dwelling on this area, I'm going to focus on this of what I can change, and not expect for things to happen like that.
Exactly.
Because, of course, I thought, why am I dealing with this garbage piece of shit person in different people? You know,
Absolutely.
it's like I'm seeing the same person in different relationships.
Yeah.
Why? And then, oh, okay. And I did the work, and that was a couple years ago. And then I just fell into being with the love of my life in a way. Like I had to wait, you know, but I wouldn't change a thing to be where I'm at now.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you just have to wait patiently
Exactly.
to get what you deserve.
Yeah, I waited.
she put the down south tone.
I waited. That Wilson came out. I waited, but it's worth it.
Absolutely. Did you feel disconnected from God?
Yes. Yeah.
Like all the way, like me? Like I grew up getting forced to go to church. I hated it. So,
Yeah.
you know, and then after a while, I'm like, okay, like both of my uncles, my mom's brothers were both ministers.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, you know, we were always big into the church. And then, like, once I got to an age that I wasn't forced to go, I didn't go.
Yeah.
You know, so, but even still, like, I still had a relationship with God. And then, you know, like, quick backstory.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my uncle, my mom's older brother, had a church he used to do out of his house. And we would give tithes and offerings to the church. You know, no biggie. And his idea was to always get a church building. And because we would do it right in his living room. And there was one where there was like 15 of us. And the living room was, well, about half the size of the room we're in.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, so you could see we'd be kind of cramped. We had two couches, you know, we had DVDs and this TV. So we were all in there. And then, like, we've been in this church 4 or 5 years. And suddenly he decided he wanted to have a house built in Pennsylvania. And no disrespect, he was a correctional officer for X amount of years. So to me, I'm like, the math ain't math. Where are you getting this money from? Where people are giving you money every week. Now, you know, I had a falling out with his children and his wife. He passed away at 53 from cancer. And so I don't speak with them anymore, like at all. They said some stuff about mother, you know, it got ugly.
Of course.
It got ugly, it got personal. But
Yeah.
to me, as a, you know, a teenager, you know, 15, 16, not knowing adult business, but seeing what's going on and creating a perception in my head, to me, it looks like you're taking money from the people in the church and you're going and using it for personal gain, which now brings me to current churches. You ever watched the show Greenleaf?
I heard of that show. I have not watched it,
It's a
but
great-
I know of it, yeah.
It's a great show, but it shows you corruption in church,
Yeah.
how the minister and how they use their congregation, they get all this money, and then they go and then they use it for personal gain.
Yep.
You know, Marvin Sapp has been
Close the doors.
Close the doors.
Close the doors.
making everyone give $20 equals 40 grand. Think about that. Everyone gives $20. That equals $40,000. You know, and then he tried to clean it up after the fact. But the point I'm making is the corruption is there.
Yeah.
So how can you be godly when
I agree.
you're utilizing the church as a Ponzi scheme?
I agree 100%. And that was one of the reasons why I wasn't going to church. I still don't. You know, like my relationship with God is me. Is me and him. That's it. And because I have also had that experience, you know, like I remember when my mom was going to different churches and I saw that she was giving all of her money. I'm like, I'm hungry. Why are you giving?
Why are you giving, like, you know,
I asked you for $10 and you got, you know, like it's
giving the church 50. Like,
yeah. And that made me, that was one of the reasons why I kind of, you know, well, this way. And also, I was also with someone who didn't believe in God. And yeah, yikes, major yikes with that. And I was really young, you know, and I was with someone older and it influenced me. And I wasn't on that part. And I was like, nah, I'm not. I know. It was like up there. You know, like you're not putting me that. You know,
Yeah.
you can be agnostic. That's you, but that's you, but that's not me.
That's not me.
And I still, but I still, like my relationship with God was nowhere near what it is today. And I know I just had to go through what I needed to like go through for whatever reason.
Right.
But yeah, I was really, and even still, I'm still iffy about churches because, and even when people when I talk about my relationship with God, they're like, oh, yeah, so you're, and they'll come out and be like, oh yeah, so you, like they share very hateful beliefs. And I don't believe, like, I don't know what God you're,
Well, yeah.
But that's not mine. Like,
That's
I have love for be whoever you want to be.
Exactly.
Like you love who you love. Like God loves you no matter what. I'm on that one. But the ones that's judging and saying you shouldn't do this is why you need to stop doing this. No, that's not.
Like
no.
we've been saying all episode, and shout out to Will Miller. Pack you up.
Pack you up.
Pack you up.
Pack it up.
Go.
Like you're not about to say, oh, you're doing this. Why don't you like cheat on your husband? But just because please, no. Pack it up.
It's those people who do those things who be trying to give you advice.
Yeah.
Like
Throwing stones while living in a glass house.
Yeah, no. We're not about.
Absolutely not.
We're not about.
We're not
that.
about hate. We're not about making people feel horrible about themselves. No.
Not at all. So, you also talk about, as I've seen through Instagram, nature.
I love nature.
Nature.
I love nature.
Nature. So, did you utilize nature in order to create a connection with God?
100%.
Because listen, I ain't gonna hold you. Some of the places you be in these pictures are beautiful. Beautiful.
And so many people, it's so funny, I'll post a picture like, where is that? I'm like, it's right across the river. I'm on Mount Beacon. You can get there. This is breakneck. You can get there. And I don't even have my own vehicle. I always make sure to get, like yesterday, I took myself on a distance run.
Yeah.
And I ran from my apartment through the city of Newburgh, across the bridge, and I came back. And I'm not running the whole time. I'm not like that. I'm not there yet. But that's my time where I'm not just looking at my phone. I'm not distracted. I'm outside.
No music?
No, I have to listen to music.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes I don't though.
Sometimes you just need that clear.
Sometimes I just have that clear, but I can listen to, it's certain music. There's some I can't listen to, that.
You ain't doing this around listening to DMX.
It depends. If I gotta get up a hill, I'll listen to.
Oh yeah. You need that dark. Like,
but,
all right, that's how I'm gonna get up that hill.
Because and DMX was also someone who was a God-fearing man.
Absolutely. So
certain music does vibrate well with me, and it depends on the artist. It depends on where they were, and I'll feel I'm not trying to sound all whoopie whoopie whoop, but there are certain like songs that like pushes me, and it is just like my way to connect, and it is about me. It's strictly for me. Like I'll take my routine on Fridays is I get home from work, I get out of work early, and I'll take my dog for a walk, take him on his walk, but then I'll leave him be,
right,
and then I go on my distance run because that is always for me, and it's like I said, I quiet my mind, I pray, talk to God, I listen to music, I plan my day, I plan my month, I plan my week, it gives a rush of being outside that I don't think any drug can compare. Like when I climb up Mount Beacon and I'm at the top and I probably have a little, something to enjoy myself while I'm up there and, a little treat. I earned it. And then I'll come down the mountain, listen to my music, hang out for a bit, quiet my mind, meditate, pray, write. I do a lot while I'm up on top of Mount Beacon. And then I go down and maybe stop at a little spot, have a little cocktail, or read my book. And it's just my leisure time, and that is how I keep my mental clear. I highly recommend it. You don't have to go on a hike, just go outside and go for a walk. If you have the luxury of living near water, if you live near the Hudson, run down that, that is just, we need that sun. it will instantly, I know that sounds so hippie, but like it's like it will instantly just like fix your mood, or you'll gain some type of clarity. That is what saved me. And if I didn't do that, I don't know where I would be today, probably.
Wow. That's deep.
Mm-hmm.
Why? So is that why the connection to nature is so important to you?
Absolutely. It's not just like, oh, I'm going outside and let me just show everyone I'm outside and like doing that. No, like it's also to encourage people, because usually I always get great feedback. Oh, you know what? You made me get up and go outside. Good. If that's, I love that. Like I'm doing it not as like a brag that like, oh, I'm outside, check out what I'm doing. It's because maybe there's one person that needs to see that to motivate themselves, because that's what happened to me. Like
Absolutely.
I was not having a good day. I was just like not feeling good. I was just in a really dark space. And I just go on, what do? We're bored. We just go on Instagram and someone posted that they were outside. I don't even remember the post, but all I know is
They
that
were
I was
outside.
like, you know what? I'm gonna go outside.
Yeah.
And I did that, and it's been part of my routine.
Wow. Yeah, it's good. You know how many people say to me, like, yo, you've inspired me to do what I've always thought about doing with the podcast. I'm like, if that's what I'm doing, that's a success in itself.
Exactly.
That's a success in itself. Like when I had Rebecca on this show, she even threw an idea of something she wanted to do.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay. Hey, do what you gotta do.
As long as you're motivating people, if you're doing it for yourself, but you're not realizing who's watching and what the impact it is for those people.
Exactly. So, talk to me about Black Girl Joy.
Me. I'm Black Girl Joy. Black Girl Joy is important. Black Girl Joy is what sets the tone for the world, because Black women are the most emulated while being the most disrespected at the same time, which makes zero sense. So whenever I see a Black girl just doing what she wants to do, even if it's a girl that maybe, I don't like, she happy, good.
Exactly.
I, just like Issa Rae say, I'm rooting for everybody Black, period, always. Black love, Black joy. I live that every day. And unapologetically. And I feel it's so funny to me when people get insulted when people say Black girl joy or Black love. They feel so insulted by that. And
or Black owned business.
Yeah, it's like, but why does it have to be Black? Because it needs to be. Because we need that. And you know why. And the fact that you have that reaction is the reason why. People act really ignorant and pretend that there isn't racism, or they pretend that Black women don't get disrespected by not only, other races, but by also by Black men. The amount of time that I've heard as a young girl, oh, you're pretty for a Black girl. From Black men.
From Black people.
Which is crazy. Which is the wildest thing. And that was the reason why I, probably dated white people back in the day. I say this in a way where, because some of my nieces and nephews are mixed. People who I love are in interracial relationships. I believe you love who you love. But Black love
I'm in an interracial
exactly, and I know that. And that's a beautiful, loving relationship.
Yeah.
And but people feel offended or attacked when I speak about Black love.
There's nothing wrong.
No.
Love is love.
Love is love, exactly. Love, you love who you love, but something about Black love and Black joy, Black empowerment needs to be celebrated, because I see the looks that my man and I get when we're out by older Black couples, and I love that, because they look
good looks.
Good looks.
Oh, I was going left for a second. I'm like,
no. Whenever people see him and I see joy. People are happy. People randomly cover our tab when we're out.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And it's because it's not celebrated enough. Because I see Black women getting bashed so much by Black men.
Yeah.
And I feel like other people feel that it's okay to bash Black women, because black men bash black women.
And that shouldn't be the case.
Not at all. That's ignorant and dumb. But black girl joy is so important because we don't get the opportunity to just be ourselves. Like if you had to put me in a box, you can't ever put me in a box, but you know, I'm kind of in like the black, quirky, goofy, like, you know, whatever, march the beat of her own drum, but it's okay for that.
The other problem is everyone thinks they have a definition of what acting black is.
Exactly.
One thing that I would hate is when people would tell me I act white.
I
I'm
hate
like,
that.
what is your fucking definition of acting black?
Exactly.
Because if you think I'm acting white, what is your definition of acting black?
Exactly.
Does that mean I'm out to dealing drugs? Does
Yeah.
that mean that I'm out here killing people?
Exactly.
Like, what does that mean slavery still exists in your mind?
Mm-hmm.
What is your definition of acting black? And they were like, they really have an answer. Like, does that mean I'm on the corner? No, because there's still people, and most of them, unfortunately, are black. When you go to the city of Newburgh, hanging out on the corner, you know, I mean, you know, like, what is your definition? You know, because if someone were to come into the country who had never been here, and the first two people they meet are Lil Wayne and Barack Obama, those are two different spectrums. Two different spectrums. So you're telling me that you're going to say Barack Obama, even though he's half white, you know, but he's one drop of black blood, he's black.
Yeah,
You're going to say he is acting white because he's in a suit, he talks properly, he's got a deep etiquette voice, and then you're going to say Lil Wayne's black because he's got tattoos all over his face, he's got, you know, he's kind of got a raspy voice, you know, obviously we know he does drugs, he I was just about to say the syrup thing, you know, so it's just like, you know, I want to know that definition to people because everyone has their own means and their own definition of what it means to be black.
And it calls them out because it's like, okay, so then there's that internalized racism.
Exactly.
You know, because I have had white people come up to me and say, oh, I'm more black than you. And it's because they're like fucking black dude. And I'm like, that's the definition of your, like, are you kidding? Ignorant. Or I have a wide range of music that I listen to. Like, are we still like on that like you have to like, we can't put, we're not a monolith, you know? Like, we come in all different shades. We have all, like, just like people, we're people.
Exactly.
You know, like, I still, someone said this to me, like, oh, you can tan? Yeah, my skin is still skin. I'm human.
And you can get sunburned too.
Yeah.
We can't sunburn.
Like, the ignorance, like, it is so wild. Like, if you don't have any black friends, and please get some. Like, because, or just like broaden your horizons, just because like some of the conversations that I hear or I find myself, you know, like adjacent to, I like have to laugh because it's like the ignorance is laughable now.
Exactly.
It's laughable.
Exactly.
And when, you know, like people, they will have this assumption of me for whatever reason. And it's like, oh, see, I didn't know. Like, what? What do you, please?
Come on.
I don't even have, like,
Miss me with
and they're like,
that.
oh, well, talk to me about it. I don't have to. Learn yourself, please.
Absolutely.
Open up your mind, stop being judgmental.
And that's what people need to do, is they need positivity. That's why I'm all about positivity and uplifting. I had someone, and I posted a couple clips from Rebecca's interview.
Oh, yeah, what a weirdo.
And you that one girl, I had to go in on her. I don't know if I think you commented on it.
I commented on it, but I don't know if they blocked me.
Oh no, I blocked her.
Because I couldn't see it. Like,
Yeah.
I ended up, like, and it's just like, for you to have that much hate for someone who is in a place, because Rebecca has come a long way. I'm so proud of her.
Absolutely.
Her story is her story, and I love like that. I love what she's doing right now. I'm very proud of her.
Absolutely.
You know, I go way back with Rebecca since fourth grade. It's right there. Like, she knows me. But like, that person, it's like, you are at your big age. You obviously made a fake page.
Yeah.
You know, the fake page is is very weird. Like I get fake pages that like will look at my story. And
Right.
it's like
wow.
it's just like I just made an egg sandwich. You wanna look at that? I was hungry, I made an egg sandwich, put a little extra pepper in it.
Right, exactly. But
like it's very bizarre to me. It's like
watching those videos, the hair videos, I be tuning in.
I'm getting more into that because I have such I'll get it before. See, I'll but like I noticed that and I was like, you obviously have so much insecurity and hate within yourself that someone is, making their life better and acknowledging, holding themselves accountable for what's done in the past, and you want to hold on to that and come up with things, you're embarrassing. And you're doing it all behind a fake page.
Yeah, exactly. And then for you to be like, get pregnant by a black guy, that just set me off.
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
I just lost my God.
And you're bringing their parents. You don't know their parents. You don't know what. You don't know anything. No. You only know what you know from whatever.
Exactly.
And you're taking the time out to comment, and then they didn't say much to me. In shout out Daria, who also said, they didn't say much to either of us. They knew not to, and I think that was for a reason.
Yeah. Oh, of course, of course. I want to also talk about your podcast journey.
Yes, shout out Tajay, my girl Tajay. That's who I have my podcast with. It's called What's the Tea? Tajay, Tiera.
Okay. So
we're on Spotify. It's still there. We randomly just like did a live, and we were just being like silly and fun, and we just like did random topics, and we were like, "Oh, it's kind of like popping. We're getting like a lot of like feedback."
Right.
We're like, "Let's just do it," and we did it. It was just like for fun. But this was also like a transitional like period. Like I was moving a lot, and like she just gave birth to a beautiful, beautiful baby boy. So, but we're getting back into that. Like I needed to like buckle down and just focus on like me and like hibernate for a bit. And I did that, and now I feel like the both of us are in a place where we can dive back into that and we're talking about it. So What's the Tea is coming back very soon. And I've been posting like videos. I'm also someone that like I like for people to not be in my business.
Absolutely.
And I feel like this is the most that people have ever heard me like speak.
It's the most access you're gonna get.
The most. So enjoy this. So like whenever I'll like post like a video about my hair, because a lot of people have asked me about like my hair. I used to not know how to do my hair at all. Like it was my cousin Paris. She's the one that did my hair. Daria did like the full locks of my hair. But other than that, shout out to Daria, who definitely needs to be here.
We having some scheduling issues.
And that's what I figured, because she's got a mom.
It's gonna happen. Just the schedule thing is a little tough.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, because that'll be good. I'll tune into that.
Yeah,
tune into everything. I'll tune into that for sure. But like when it comes to like filming videos, it's like I get a little self-conscious about like speaking. Like I've performed before, but I actually do just like writing more.
Absolutely.
And like putting my work out there, and versus performing it. And so like with like TikToks and like the videos about showing how to do my hair and stuff, I'm gonna do that more because like I show people like how what I do to my hair, and that video got like a lot of great feedback.
Absolutely.
So maybe I'll just dive in a little bit more, maybe do some skincare, maybe actually do the step-by-step process. That's a lot of work. So that's please be patient with that. Cares, but
people will care. People like content. Content is king.
But yeah, I am probably gonna start putting more out there with content. I'm in control of that, so I don't have to show everything.
Exactly.
My business, I'm like in my place.
Yeah, just
I'm very protective of
You get a little bit.
Yeah.
Like she said, this is the most.
This is the most.
This is the most.
Yeah.
The other thing is I see a lot of modeling type photos on the page. And let me say, girl, you are beautiful inside and out.
Thank you.
And then beautiful melanated skin. Will there be any more modeling down the road?
Well, I am blessed to an amazing photographer as a man.
Okay.
You know, a lot of he's a photographer.
Oh shit.
And what's so funny is that he's done shoots with me before we started dating. Like a lot of my shoots, a lot of my like photos on there, you know, I've done things with, you know, Brooks. I'm not bragging, but like I've done a lot of like, you know, good shoots, but it was always people who reached out to me. I didn't like put the work in.
Absolutely.
Not trying like, you know, like it was just a collaboration project. Like even, you know, with Steven, when he would like, hey, you want to do like a shoot? Like we would just do shoots together. Like it was just like for fun.
Wow.
And people started taking notice to those photos, and that's how I got certain jobs.
Wow.
And yeah. So, and like I said, like the past couple of, you know, like I buckled down. I was just like, you know, not really wanting to be out there. It was just like a certain season for me that I just wanted to be quiet. And, but there have been some, you know, new work coming out. So just
listen.
It's happening. Good things are coming.
I don't know if you've ever watched dmcthedj's show Lady Vibes.
Yes, I have.
I'm one of the few men that in there every week at some point. Daria was on there, not this week, the week before.
I have to watch that. I will watch that.
And she said, now we know her book is called No More Free Games.
Oh, shout out No More Free Game. I just got my copy yesterday.
Oh,
it's so good.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's so good. It's
so intuitive, right? That's just
so good.
I'm gonna get mine soon. As soon as the finances.
I hear you.
You know, right now, kind of not buying stuff on Amazon because there isn't stuff.
I went on for Daria.
Yeah.
But like I was like Amazon, but I was like I'm supporting, but
it's an Amazon. I'm like, dang, I'd rather give you. You got a copy on hand.
I know. You slide at.
I'd rather give you the 40.
I'm pretty sure they can do that.
You know, because I'm gonna ask. Or she's 6 though, right?
Yeah, and it's like, all right, okay.
I just bid it for you. Yeah, wait. She said on there she only gets like $16 for each book.
I know. It's like I want you to get the full.
Yeah, take the full.
Yeah.
What she was saying on there is that she wants to get to a point in her life where she can live off her skills.
Yes.
That's what you're working towards.
That's what I'm working towards.
That's what you're working towards.
I clock in now for somebody else.
And if you can use those 8 hours a day to work on your own dream and make your own money.
It's just, you just gotta do it, not be lazy.
Exactly.
You just gotta get up and do it. You wanna do that? Okay, you're in control. That's the conversation I had. It's like, all right, you're tired of doing this? All right. And then realizing, oh wow, this is coming a lot easier to me. All I had to do was get up. Okay.
And do it.
I could do that.
So, we're at the end here. So, I end each show with a positive ending message, something positive and uplifting from you to the audience. But before that, now you did say you probably spoke a lot in this interview of stuff people don't know. However, I need you to tell something else that people don't know about you, that you don't mind that they know. And it don't even have to be nothing crazy. You can tell me you put Pepsi on your pancakes. You know, I'm like, all right.
Excuse me. Let's see. Oh, I got share more stuff. My favorite genre of film is horror.
Okay.
I love horror. I love. I have a fear of like tiny holes. You know that it's called like I think it's called typography or something. You Google it.
Okay.
Like typography. I might be saying it incorrectly. A lot of people know it's just like a fear of like tiny holes like put together. Oh. And it is like so gross. It is like say if there's like you know some people can get like maybe a sore or a blister. Yeah. And like a bunch of holes would kind of appear.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like a honeycomb freaks me out.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I have heard of this before.
Yeah, and I know I think it's like people who have like great anxiety have that fear. I was like, accurate. Okay.
Yeah, no, I've heard of people who have that
So
fear.
I don't think people know that about me. I'm a really good cook.
Oh.
I cook pretty well.
Shoot. I have to come over there. Just inviting myself. Me and my wife, like, one day
come right on
You
over.
coming
You know,
over.
nice little double date. Bring the kids and they
Hey.
play with the dog, play with
Okay.
Buster.
All right, we have to set that up.
I'm a pretty decent. I can burn a pan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, just look into your camera and give a positive, uplifting message. This one, yours over here. That's all good.
Stay genuine. Empathy is important. Love yourself. You cannot love anyone else properly if you don't love yourself. Trust yourself. And by any means necessary, win.
Can't say it any better than
God
that.
is good.
And anyone who gives you bad energy, as you said all interview, pack
Pack
them
him
up.
up. Get out of here. Go. The door is right there.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on here, being transparent, and having this conversation with me. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I definitely did. Thank you so
No,
much.
If there's anything I can do to help you in your podcast journey, let me know.
Absolutely, for sure.
No.
This was fantastic.
Oh,
Thank you for doing what you're doing.
When y'all are ready to launch, I'd love for you and your co-host to come back and we can just chop it up, the three
For
of
sure.
us.
No, I'm gonna actually reach out to her
Yes.
today.
Yeah, maybe.
Tell her.
So when it's ready to happen, we'll schedule you so that you can promote it before it starts. We'll make it happen.
I appreciate you so
No
much.
doubt.
So
No doubt.
much.
Appreciate you too. And I appreciate everyone who's watched this episode of The Honest Hour. Thank you for everyone. Thank you to the COC Network. Thank you to Sober Friends for allowing us to use your space. Thank you for Happy Truth for sponsoring us. Check out all the other sponsors on the show, on the COC Network. And if you need any merch, hit me up. Shirts are $25, hats are $35. I offer a bunch of other stuff as well. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.